Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Well, howdy, folks. It's I, the old Holy Smoking Pipe Padre, on a summer, actually, it's kind of a cool spring evening. And I am not going to be smoking my Joe Case pipe tonight, although I'd love to put some chocolate cream in there or something really yummy and delicious and enjoy this. But I think my other pipes, to be honest with you, are getting a little bit jealous of my Joe Case pipe. Sorry. Especially my Dunhills. Oh man, my Dunhills are so jealous right now. So I thought I would, don't tell my Dunhills, but I'm going to be doing a little bit of a boot chacun. And in this wonderful, what I call my Calabash Church Warden, I'm smoking some of my special elixir, which is pirate cake, which I chopped up, kind of almost turned into ground coffee in my little Cuisinart. And so I've been, as you remember from a couple of my videos, about a week or two ago, I used to chop up some rope tobacco, which I got from a gentleman by the name of John. And I think his wife, Dee Dee. So, John, Dee Dee, if you're watching, again, I want to thank you for the rope tobacco. And it also inspired me to use my Cuisinart, which I used to cut up the rope tobacco, also to cut up some pirate cake. Haven't smoked pirate cake. Well, I had a bowl of pirate cake about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just haven't. I don't smoke it on a regular basis. It's kind of a special tobacco that I like to smoke. It's just one of those things that you just don't do all the time. It's like, those of you who imbibe. I'm sure you don't go out and drink a really nice bottle of wine every night. Maybe you drink a little bit of wine every night, but the real special vintages you kind of save for just special occasions. And although this I wouldn't say is a special occasion per se, like a celebratory thing, it's just one of those quiet occasions where it just seems right to smoke some pirate cake. It's a beautiful spring evening, and life is it's getting good. Life's getting good. I think summer's just about here. And before you know it, we'll be right in the middle of summer. And so anyway, well, listen, I'm here for a couple reasons. I want to do some shout outs. I want to talk a little bit about my last video. That sounds a little bit narcissistic, I suppose, or solipsistic. I want to talk about my last video. But let me get to some shout-outs here, just briefly, because the reason why I'm doing the shout-outs is because one of them is really the reason for this video. It ties in with somebody's asked me to answer a question. I'm going to try to do that. But anyway, so some of you have seen my beautiful Joe Case pipe. Again, please, if you're if you want a great pipe at a really wonderful, reasonable price, you can't go wrong with the Joe Case pipe. Okay, so just some shout outs here. Let's see here. Theobachinist, Eric Lee. God bless you. He endorses my. He sees that a smoking jacket is indeed a very good thing to have, and I've been looking around, and one of our commenters made an excellent point that you should get a wool jacket of some kind. Now I know that probably sounds, especially here Northern California in the summer, why would you want to wear a wool jacket? That doesn't make any sense. But the thing is that wool is resistant to embers and cinders and sparks, whereas cotton and I think even silk, they're going to burn real easily and real quickly. So I actually thought about as an alternative to getting a quote unquote smoking jacket, we have a Pendleton outlet up in Placerville, and I have to travel through there on some occasions when I go up north to Lake Tahoe to visit my dear friend Katie, and I drive right by the Pendleton outlet there, and I could probably get a really nice Pendleton shirt, which I could actually use as a smoking jacket. So I may do that instead. Some of the smoking jackets I've seen are there's one company that makes them. The Historical Emporium does make them, but I think they're mostly cotton, and I don't know if I really want to go that route. And there is another company that makes them, and they do make a wool version. It's a little bit pricey, but it looks. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have to think about it. The look looks a little too pretentious for me. But then again, hey, here I am wearing white tie and tails and morning coat and things like that, and so here I am worrying about being pretentious. I think that's kind of silly, I know, but or incongruent. But there you go. But I don't know. Some of them look kind of like I might be like. I'd like to find one like Basil Rathbone used to wear in the old 1940s movies. I think that'd be great. Okay, so anyway, Theo Bacchus kind of was chiming in his 2 cents that he thought it was a good idea to get a smoking jacket. Okay, Mr. Drac Theater. I wonder if Drac is short for Dracula. Says he likes the videos, likes the life stories. So he likes it when I do my fireside chats. So thank you for saying something positive. I really appreciate that. Pipe Wizard. He wanted to know what software I use. I think I did send him a little PM. I use Final Cut Pro. Like the last one I did with the Star Trek stuff, which was, and it wasn't very good to be honest with you, but Final Cut Pro 10 is a wonderful. I know it's had some critics in the last couple of years, but once you kind of get familiar with it, it does some pretty endearing things for you. Okay, so I don't want to get into a big talk about Final Cut Pro tonight, but Pipe Wizard Paul, he just wanted to know what kind of software I use. So I'm mostly a Mac guy. Sorry, folks, if you're Windows, I'm not here to knock on Windows, but again, I'm just a Mac guy, and my software choice for video editing is Final Cut Pro, and I sometimes use iMovies too. My movie isn't bad either. Okay, so and then my old buddy Gary, the Gentleman Scholar, our man about wherever in some lonely airport. I was sick of seeing him waiting for some plane, you know. Anyway, he's a big Star Trek guy, and he really loves the new Star Trek movie, which I went and saw last Thursday about this time. Big bucket of popcorn and a couple of hot dogs and nice icy, and I really had a good time. So it's a good movie. It's fun, a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Okay. Okay. Now this is going to get into the reason for this video real quick. And that is Jersey Fix. Hello there, my friend, Jersey Fix. Leon. How you doing, Leon? And he writes, I've got a question for you, and I'm hoping you can shed some light on the subject. I'll try. I have been posed a question by an atheistic cousin of mine, and the question is, why did God create us with free will if he is going to punish us for exercising said free will? What would you say to try and answer this question? A video response on this would be awesome, or just a PM response, whichever is easiest. If you have time, I really appreciate it. Okay. Leon, this video is for you, okay? or your cousin. Now, it would be highly pretentious of me to think I could actually answer. That's a very deep question. The whole issue of free will. And I think that there are even some Christians who would debate that God actually gives us a free will. I met somebody, pretty articulate guy, pretty well read guy, and he kind of took me to task one day about that Christians somehow we don't have free will the way. Somehow he felt that the issue of free will was not in keeping with, I guess, the life of faith. And I forgot how it was kind of a surprise to me. I never heard anybody debate that, but this guy really questioned the idea of free will for a Christian. And again, some people, certainly an atheist, of course, this is being posed by somebody asking about if God does indeed give us free will, and the question is, knowing that he's going to punish us for exercising said free will. Now that's an interesting, when I've been thinking about this, and there is an a priori assumption that if we're going to exercise free will, that means we're going to do things that are naughty and bad. Like we're going to, go out and drink too much or chase skirts or whatever. We're going to do drugs. We're going to steal. We're going to do all these wicked and bad things because we have free will. But from a Christian perspective, God, free will is not a license to do what we want per se. Free will, it doesn't mean reckless abandoned. I guess I would say that it doesn't mean like a hedonism. You can just give yourself to all your wanton desires. That's not free will. It might seem like it's free will, but in a God context, a Christian context, a context of faith, free will. It's like if you were an inmate. So let's say you were a prisoner. Let's just say you're a prisoner. You're incarcerated, and you can't do anything without being given permission by guards and the locked doors being opened for you by somebody in a control room, that kind of stuff. Your life is restricted, clearly. So you can't do the things that you would like to do, yes, but what about the things that let's say you need to do? Let's say, for example, and I had this happen once when I was a Army chaplain. I was sent to Bosnia, and I got word the second night I was there that somebody was in the hospital dying. Well, in the normal civilian life, I just get the holy oils, I get the Holy Eucharist, and I get my car and I go anoint them. I go give them, as some people would call the last rites or the anointing of the sick. And I'm often, I go do that. Well, when I was in Bosnia, it was almost like being incarcerated because I didn't have the free will to exercise my ministry because I had to now go through the protocol of getting a 4-vehicle convoy. I had to do a risk assessment, and I had to do this and then send it up to the higher command to get authorization and approval to go visit somebody in the hospital. So I didn't have free will, and I wasn't planning on doing something wicked or bad. I was actually trying to do something good. So when you're free, I think that you actually, another thing I want to say about free will is that you are then liberated to do good things. Again, free will is not like a license to where you're going to be able to indulge your sensual pleasures, whenever you want. That's not free will. Because free will is you're not encumbered by, well, let's just say, okay, for example, now some people will call smoking a pipe, drinking coffee, and maybe even drinking some adult beverages as vices. But a vice is something that kind of possesses you. You don't really have a control over it. When you have when you've lost control over something, then I think it becomes a vice. So if all of a sudden, now you're being imprisoned or in bondage to said whatever it is, you become a slave. And slaves are not free. They're not free to choose. A raging alcoholic in his cups is not a free person, okay? The drug addict who needs that next fix is not a free person. So to think that free will is going to mean that we're now going to be able to choose things that are actually putting us in bondage. Okay. Now, is it possible for a person to have, say, free will without being imprisoned by, say, vices or addictions or whatever, and they say they choose that? Well, in the initial phases, I suppose they could, but then again, it would also beg the question: were they really free in the first place? Because I think real free will, you're not being, if you will, seduced by things that are going to be bad for you. Okay. So I think that to assume that a person who had free will is going to be doing wicked things or destructive things it's sort of like saying 2 + 2 = 5. It really doesn't equate. Because if you're free, you're going to be doing, I'm not saying you're going to be doing good things because you're going to want to be a good person. It's just that's the nature of freedom, is to not do things that lead to bondage. Or things that are going to hold you in bondage. Freedom always brings forth more freedom. Now, does that mean a person who has free will, can they make mistakes? Well, they could make mistakes, certainly. Unintentional mistakes. And God doesn't punish us, I don't think, per se, for making a mistake. I think that we have to be careful in not looking at faith as this kind of either or, black and white, plus and minus, punishment and non-punishment kind of a proposition. If you look at the life of Jesus and when he encountered erring sinners, he didn't really punish them. I don't really think that there is correction, and sometimes it may seem like we're being maybe punished per se. But I don't see in the life of Jesus where he went around punishing people. In fact, he said, I didn't come to condemn. I came that the world might be saved, So, so I don't think that for God to give us free will means that we can just do whatever we want that's going to lead us into slavery and bondage and destruction and death. That's not free will. And therefore, God's not going to punish you for doing things, that you choose to do. So I think that when you look at genuine free will, again, it's a liberating thing. It's not like a license. It's not like going to give you a pass to go and be wicked. It's something that's going to be like it's going to be something that's going to give you like an authorization, if you will, sort of like a secret security clearance. I granted there have been spies and counter spies and double agents and things like that who have sold secrets and stuff. But for the most part, people that get given a top security clearance or these types of security clearances, they're given to these people so that they can do their job. Okay, it gives them access to greater information and helps them. It empowers them again for good. I mean, theoretically, that's the concept there. So it's more than just a license, but it's something that enables you. It commissions you to go forth and do good things, not bad things. So I think the concept of free will is just that, is that it leads you into freedom and not into destruction and bondage and slavery. So that's what I saw about that question, was that it kind of had this assumption that, well, if I'm free, then I can do whatever I want, and then I'm going to go do all these bad things or naughty things or reckless things or wicked things or destructive things or whatever it is. And again, I don't think that real freedom leads you to do those things. It leads you to do just the opposite, because freedom leads you into deeper freedom. So I don't know if that makes any sense, Leon. But I've been kind of sitting on this for a week and, pondering it and mulling it over. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you, and maybe you can share that or share this video with your friend. And by the way, if you're watching there, Leon's cousin, hope you're doing well, and hope I said something that might make sense to you. Okay? All right. And lastly, in my old Father Francis way here, Holy Smoking Pie Padre way here, I just wanted to say that in closing about my little Star Trek video, my last video. It looks like, some folks didn't care for old Padre, the old Padre on the bridge there. That's all I'm going to say. I got some thumbs down, which is it actually, to be honest with you, I think one of my favorite composers, old Dmitri Shostakovich, one time said that, if people are always saying nice things about you, there's really no merit in that. And if people are always running you down, there's no merit in that. But if you really want to find something of quality, if you kind of got a little bit of a mix of, some people saying, hey, that was pretty good, and other people kind of, giving you the old thumbs down and criticizing you and pointing out maybe your flaws or whatever, he says there's some merit to that. That whatever it is that you're getting, that kind of dialogue, where some people are for it and some people are against it or whatever. He said that actually has more meaning, because it's not just a bunch of people, giving you a lot of high fives. That's nice to get, nice accolades, or everybody condemning you. But it's kind of in that mixture. It's in that in between where you kind of see where the value of something is. So not too disheartened. But I did take notice that there was a little bit more thumbs down on that one, and I guess maybe some people were looking for maybe a review of the Star Trek movie, or maybe I gave away. Did I do any spoilers in that movie? I hope I didn't. But anyway, so if you were somebody that watched the video and were kind of disappointed in the old Padre, well, I apologize, and all I can say is, stay tuned. Well, there's plenty more to come. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna shove off here. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna do some other things this evening before I retire. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And I just want to say in closing, I will be hopefully the next couple of weeks. I'm going to put together my summer contest, and I want to be able to unveil the prizes, or at least talk about the prizes. But before I do that, I have to get the prizes. I still have to get the prizes. So hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I'll have a video up, and we'll do a serious talk about the upcoming contest. Hopefully, you're going to want to enter, and I hope it'll be a fun contest. I'm just trying to find some little things that'll make it fun and enjoyable, but also I want to make a couple of nice prizes for sure. Okay. All right, folks. Talk to you later, and don't tell my Dunhills about my Joe Case pipe. Okay, they're awfully jealous. All right, talk to you later. Bye. How do I turn this thing off? Oh, there we go. There it is. Okay. See you now.